Hello and welcome to A Spirited Debate. I'm Lauren Green. The fish is an important symbol the early Christians used to let fellow faithful know who they worshipped. And it was and is still a symbol of resurrection and new life. And now real fish are being used by a Christian charity as a modern-day saving grace for fighting the dreadful Zika virus that has caused birth defects in pregnant women. The nonprofit organization Operation Blessing hopes to halt the virus's spread in Central America by breeding and distributing fish that can eat mosquitoes' larvae before the insects mature and carry the disease. Here to explain is Bill Horan, president of Operation Blessing International. Welcome.
Thank you, Lauren.
First of all, I think a lot of people would like to know, how did the fish become this symbol of Christianity?
I'm really not sure, but it's been going on for thousands of years, it seems, and you know, our logos are always associated with Christianity, the fish and so forth, and I think it goes along with the feed the hungry, heal the sick, and some of the mandates that were laid down in the Bible, and I'm not really sure of the actual origin of it.
One person actually told me that it's because the fish spelled out in Greek is, the letters actually say something in the name of Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Somehow it's sort of a secretive kind of way. Somehow the letters spell that. That's what I was told. We'll have to check that with the experts. But how do fish work in ridding an area of disease, you know, carrying mosquitoes, and what kind of fish are we talking about?
Well, for Operation Blessing, Lauren, it started post-Katrina. Hurricane Katrina hit New Orleans, as you know, and flooded the whole city when the levees broke. When they fixed the levees and they pumped the water out, there was nobody home. So there were almost 6,000 swimming pools in the city of New Orleans that were still filled with whatever Katrina left behind. Each one of those swimming pools was, in effect, a mosquito factory.
Wow.
So the CDC and the city of New Orleans was very worried about an outbreak of West Nile virus in St. Louis encephalitis. Operation Blessing was down there doing all sorts of recovery work. We actually were set up in Slidell, Louisiana. And I got a call one day from the New Orleans Mosquito Board, and they said, Bill, we've called FEMA and asked for help, and they suggested that we call you. And we like to think of Operation Blessing as sort of a Swiss Army knife of the humanitarian world. And we're very flexible and very interested in helping, even in unique ways. And I said, what can we do? And they said, well, we've got to do something to abate the spread of the breeding of these mosquitoes, or by the summertime, we're going to have a real problem here with disease.
So they had a fish that could do this, and that they would breed the fish.
They knew what they wanted to do, but they didn't have the resources or the cash to do it. And so when he explained they needed it's a small fish called gambusia. The gambusia, or mosquito fish, as it's commonly called, has been used for over 100 years all over the world for biological mosquito control. And most people, including me at that point, had never heard of that. But you'd be amazed how many states in the United States actually have a hatchery where they raise gambusia. Even California has a hatchery. In Virginia, it's up in a place called York. And you can go there and they'll give you free gambusia if you've got a ditch or a pond in your backyard that's breeding mosquitoes. So when the mosquito egg hatches, the life of the mosquito works like this. It turns into a larva, which is singular, larvae, plural. It's a little worm-like wiggling object in the water.
Yeah.
It's very tiny at first, and it goes through 4 stages of growth. And it gets bigger in each stage in a worm-like state. Then it turns into what's called a pupa, or a pupae.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a fully blown mosquito. This can happen in 1 week's time. But when they're in the larvae stage, they're in water. They don't breathe water. They have a little air tube and they breathe air, but they're in the water.
So the fish eat them at that stage?
They gobble them.
How successful are they at getting rid of these mosquitoes?
100% successful.
So you're taking them down to Central America and beyond in Brazil to try to rid the Zika virus?
Absolutely. We had such success after Katrina that we were sure it would work down there. So we have offices in a number of Latin American countries, in Mexico, in Honduras, Guatemala, El Salvador, Peru, and in Haiti. So in each of those countries now, we've launched efforts that are using some conventional means, but also mosquito fish and also turtles in Honduras. It's very exciting.
And it's more effective than anything that we can do with spraying and pesticides. And
it is for this reason. This particular mosquito, which is called Aedes aegypti, is a domesticated mosquito. Most mosquitoes live in a swamp or a woods or a pond or a river or somewhere where there's a large body of stagnant water. the Aedes aegypti, which carry not only Zika, but yellow fever, dengue fever, and chikungunya. It's the same mosquito. They're a tiny mosquito. They fly really fast, and they come out during the daytime. They usually sleep at night. So the typical, like a bed net, it helps a little bit, and we're donating bed nets to pregnant mothers, being that they're the most vulnerable. But the mosquito net is not it doesn't begin to be a cure-all, because these darn things come out during the daytime to bite you.
So the fish are really the best option?
The fish are a fantastic option.
All right.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much, Bill Horan from Operation Blessing International. If you want to know more about the mosquitoes and the Zika virus and the fish that are going to eat the larvae, you want to go to operationblessing.org. Thank you so much. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching.